In the sultry shadows of Pensacola, Florida, where history mingles with ghostly whispers, lies a chilling tapestry of haunted locales waiting to be unveiled. From abandoned buildings echoing with the cries of lost souls to storied landmarks steeped in eerie legend, prepare to journey into the heart of the unknown. Here are the top 15 haunted places in Pensacola if you dare. 1. Pensacola Lighthouse and Maritime Museum, Pensacola. On the shores of Pensacola, where gusts of salty air weave through the ancient live oaks, the Pensacola Lighthouse stands as a sentinel of forgotten tales, casting an eerie glow against the twilight sky. This historic beacon, built in 1859, is not just a navigational tool. It harbors whispers of sorrow and spectral encounters that chill the bones of those who dare to explore its shadowed corridors. Local folklore speaks of the lighthouse being haunted by the ghosts of trapped sailors and the tormented spirits of those who lost their lives at sea. It is said that, amid the sound of crashing waves, one can hear their anguished cries mingled with the shifting winds, a testament to the tragedies that have befallen these coastal waters over the centuries. The lighthouse itself tells a disquieting story. Tragedy struck during the Civil War, when Confederate troops used it for reconnaissance, leading to the deaths of Union soldiers. But most notably, the specter of Miss Elizabeth, the wife of a former lighthouse keeper, roams the watchtower. She is believed to have plunged to her death down the spiraling staircase after being told her husband would not return from a fateful sea voyage. With reports of sudden drops in temperature, flickering lights, and disembodied footsteps echoing against the thick stone walls, visitors have long documented these unsettling encounters. Some say they have felt a chilling embrace, as if Elizabeth herself seeks solace from her eternal grief. Yet, these accounts should serve as a grim warning. Entering the Pensacola Lighthouse and Maritime Museum is not just a journey into history, but a stark challenge. One must tread carefully, for the spirits of the past may not be as forgiving. Are you brave enough to confront the lingering souls and the unbearable weight of tragic history? The lighthouse calls, but be warned. Once you enter, you may leave a piece of yourself behind. 2. Fort Barrancas, Pensacola. As the sun sinks below the horizon, casting an otherworldly glow over Fort Barrancas in Pensacola, Florida, an unsettling stillness envelops the weathered stone walls, remnants of a turbulent history echoing in the ocean breeze. This 19th century fortress, built to defend the Gulf Coast from potential invasions, has long been whispered about among locals, who claim that the souls of countless soldiers and prisoners still wander its corridors, their anguished cries lingering like the fog that clings to ancient relics. The fort, with its arched passageways and gun platforms overlooking the restless waters, feels almost sentient, as if it holds within its stones the weight of the tragedies that unfolded upon its grounds. Historical accounts speak of the dire conditions endured by soldiers, including a horrific incident in the 1860s when a devastating hurricane ravaged the area, leaving lives lost and spirits untethered. It is said that the ghost of a Confederate soldier, forever bound by duty, can still be seen patrolling the fort under the pale light of the moon. His mournful footsteps echo in the silence, warning the living that their peace may be but a veil over deeper terror. Paranormal investigators have reported cold spots, disembodied voices, and the eerie sensation of being watched, fostering a sense of inevitable dread among those who dare to explore its depths. Many dismiss these accounts as mere folklore, yet the palpable tension in the air suggests otherwise. Each visitor is met with a challenge to confront the unseen forces that remain. You must tread carefully if you wander into the fort's shadowy embrace. For within these walls, history is not just a story. It's a lingering presence that demands recognition. Dare to unveil the horror of Fort Barrancas, knowing that the spirits within are not just echoes of the past. They are warnings for the living. Three, Fort Pickens, Pensacola Beach. Beneath the whispering winds and the relentless crash of waves against the shore, Fort Pickens, a crumbling stone fortress on Pensacola Beach, cloaks itself in a shroud of foreboding history. As twilight descends, shadows lengthen within its darkened halls, where echoes of long-forgotten voices seem to stir the salt-laden air. Local legend speaks of eerie encounters and unsettling phenomena, drawing thrill-seekers and ghost hunters to its depths. With its construction beginning in 1829 and completion during the Civil War, Fort Pickens was a vital stronghold utilized to defend the Gulf Coast. Yet it bore witness to untold hardships, including the imprisonment of federal troops and internecine warfare that left deep scars in the souls of those who endured them. Eyewitness accounts abound of spectral figures, a flickering lantern in the distance, or a distant whisper in the fort's cavernous corridors, only to vanish upon investigation. The haunting extends beyond mere apparitions. Tragic stories linger like a thick fog, particularly the unfortunate souls who fell victim to disease during the fort's use as a military hospital. Tales of the once thriving battalion speak of a deadly smallpox outbreak that left soldiers to perish in anguish, their cries for help swallowed by stone walls. Paranormal investigators and visitors alike have reported feelings of chill and unease, as if echoes of the past cling to unsuspecting passers-by. But be warned, for those who dare to wander its desolate grounds after dusk may find themselves uninvited participants in an otherworldly communion, their sleep disrupted by haunted memories imprinted in the stones themselves. The somber history of Fort Pickens is not a mere tourist attraction. It serves as a warning to respect the unseen. Tread carefully, and remember, some spirits are restless, aching to share their sorrow, and not all who enter these forsaken walls return unchanged, or at all. Four, St. Michael's Cemetery, Pensacola. Beneath the haunting Spanish moss that drapes the ancient oaks of St. Michael's Cemetery in Pensacola, whispers of the past drift ominously through the air, tinged with the scent of humidity and decay. Founded in 1781, this hallowed ground is not merely a final resting place, but a wellspring of unsettling tales, where mournful spirits are said to roam, picturing the silent agony of those left behind, caught between the realms of the living and the dead. Local folklore suggests that the restless specters are a blend of the city's long and tumultuous history, marked by wars and tragedies, notably the haunting figure of the Lady in White. Many believe this spectral woman is the ghost of a grieving mother who lost her child during a cholera epidemic in the 1800s, her anguished form still searching for solace beneath the twisted branches of the cemetery's towering trees. As dusk envelops the cemetery, the shadows lengthen, and visitors claim to feel a bone-chilling chill sweep through the air, often accompanied by the sound of soft weeping emanating from the weathered graves. These tales are not merely the product of overactive imaginations. Numerous witnesses recount experiences of cold spots and unexplained flickering lights. The scent of roses inexplicably fills the air, even as the flowers have long since wilted on the graves, leading many to speculate about the lingering energy of sorrowful souls tethered to their resting places. With each year that passes, as the lines of time blur, these echoes of the past intensify like the tolling of distant bells, signifying an ever-present reminder of suffering. However, heed this warning. Should you dare to tread the moss-covered paths of St. Michael's Cemetery, be prepared for an encounter beyond the veil. As the sun sets, remember that some stories are better left untold, and some souls may not appreciate your curiosity. Keep your heart steady, for the shadows whisper secrets of those who remain, and you might just find that they are waiting for more than mere acknowledgement. Five, Seville Quarter, Pensacola. In the heart of Pensacola, Florida, known for its vibrant nightlife and rich maritime history, lies the Seville Quarter, a seemingly innocuous complex of bars and restaurants that pulses with laughter and music. However, as the sun dips below the horizon, the revelry transforms into a haunting echo of something far more sinister. Local lore whispers of ghostly presences that wander through the historic halls, tantalizing visitors with the remnants of sorrowful pasts. For over a century, the Seville Quarter has stood sentinel over the tales of wayward souls, drawing in both revelers and the restless alike. The stories are sewn into the fabric of this place. Locals recount the tragic legend of the Lady in White, believed to be the spirit of a young woman who perished in an unrequited love affair in the very mid-1800s when the building functioned as a cigar factory. Her heartbroken cries are said to resonate through the air when the bar is quiet, sending chills down the spines of the unsuspecting. Patrons have reported flickering lights, inexplicable cold spots, and the sensation of being watched each encounter, reinforcing the belief that the past lingers in the shadows. The eerie silence between bursts of laughter is charged with a tension that hints at the sorrow beneath the facade of merriment. Visiting the Seville Quarter isn't merely a night out. It's an invitation to confront a darker dimension where joy and tragedy intertwine. Those daring enough to linger past midnight may find themselves caught in the ethereal grip of the Lady in White, her ghostly visage materializing just out of sight, a reminder of the heartbreak that poured itself into this very ground. Explorers of the haunted world must heed this warning. In seeking the thrill of the supernatural, one might awaken what should remain undisturbed, unwittingly forging an unsettling connection with those who are eternally trapped in this timeless domain, entangled in both the laughter of the living and the whispers of the dead. Six, Saenger Theater, Pensacola. The Saenger Theater in Pensacola stands as a haunting silhouette on a moonlit night, its ornate facade masking a chilling history and whispering secrets that linger in the shadows. Locals often speak in hushed tones about the inexplicable phenomena that occur within its walls, claiming that the spirit of a long-gone performer roams the backstage, reliving her final moments in a world that no longer recognizes her. This historic venue, built in 1925, once showcased the glittering stars of vaudeville and silent films. But its past also bears darker stories specifically. The tragic death of a beloved actress who succumbed to a freak accident on stage during a vibrant performance in the 1930s. Witnesses reported that she had cut her finger while setting up props, and despite a small incident, she bore on, only to collapse mid-act, her light extinguished too soon. The psychological imprint of her last performance continues to haunt the theater, with reports of disembodied voices echoing through the empty corridors and the sensation of an icy breath brushing past performers as they prepare for shows. While many dismiss such tales as the product of overactive imaginations, Investigators of the paranormal have gathered evidence that challenges rational explanations. Overlapping video footage from security cameras has captured fleeting images of an ethereal figure gliding across the stage. An anomaly dismissed initially until various playback analyses confirmed a consistent pattern of this spectral presence. Some staff members have claimed to see her reflection in mirrors, while others describe feeling an overwhelming sense of sorrow permeating the air, as if the theater itself mourns her absence. So, if you ever find yourself in Pensacola, and the flickering lights of Saenger Theater beckon to you, heed the stories of those who have come before. What was once a stage for entertainment now beckons the curious with an eternal warning. Some performances become haunting echoes, replayed until the end of time, forever seeking an audience for the tragedy they unfolded. Enter if you dare, but know this: the shadows within are willing to embrace those who trespass with too careless a heart. Seven, Old Sacred Heart Hospital, Pensacola. The Old Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola stands shrouded in decay, its crumbling walls whispering secrets of the countless lives it once saved, and those it failed. Among the peeling paint and shattered glass, an unsettling atmosphere hangs heavy, as if the spirits of its former patients have never truly left. Local folklore circulates tales of the hospital's haunted past, stories of restless souls roaming the darkened halls, trapped in a place where both suffering and salvation intertwined. Since its establishment in 1910, Sacred Heart was a beacon for the ill and injured, but it also bore witness to countless tragedies. From failed surgeries to untimely deaths, many were left in despair. Over the decades, it became a repository of grief, with whispers of shadowy figures seen flickering in the windows and anguished cries echoing through the empty corridors, shocking those brave enough to venture inside. A particularly haunting account details the tragic loss of a young girl who succumbed to an illness, left alone in a dimly lit room on the hospital's 3rd floor. Staff reported hearing her soft cries long after she had passed. And even today, those who have dared to explore her old ward claim to feel an icy draft that accompanies an overwhelming sense of sorrow. On rainy nights, witnesses have shared that they've perceived ghostly silhouettes pacing the halls, their faces twisted in pain, eternally haunted by their unfinished business. As the sun sets, a forbidding presence seems to envelop the building, challenging anyone to linger within its haunted confines. So, if you ever find yourself near Old Sacred Heart Hospital, take heed. The spirits of its past are not just stories, but chilling reminders of life snuffed out too soon. Dare to enter, but remember, some doors, once opened, are impossible to close again. Eight, Barkley House, Pensacola Historical Museum, Pensacola. In the heart of Pensacola, the eerie silhouette of the Barkley House looms against the twilight sky, its weathered facade whispering tales of forlorn souls. Built in 1907, this historic dwelling, now part of the Pensacola Historical Museum, is said to harbor the restless spirits of its former occupants, shrouded in layers of deception and clandestine tragedy. Locals often murmur tales of inexplicable encounters, shadows flitting past the ornate windows, disembodied voices echoing down empty hallways, and sudden cold drafts that steal your breath. The house was originally constructed for the prominent Barkley family, who, after a tragic fire consumed their belongings, faced financial ruin and ultimately despair. The tragic demise of young Evelyn Barkley, who reportedly perished in that fire, cast a long and sinister shadow over the family home. as legend has it that her spirit never left the premises, tethered by the weight of unfulfilled promises and lost innocence. As eerie occurrences plague visitors and staff, stories erupt that the scent of burning wood fills the air, an ominous reminder of Evelyn's fate, prompting many to believe her spirit roams the empty halls, searching for what was lost. Paranormal investigators have ventured into its haunting embrace, employing EVP devices that have successfully recorded what appears to be a young girl's laughter, chilling against the backdrop of old whispers. "Help me!" Despite the veracity of such reports, many still laugh off the stories, dismissing them as mere folklore or frightful exaggerations. Yet, for those who tread lightly through the creaking floorboards of Barkley House, heed this warning. The boundary between history and the supernatural is perilously thin, and to delve into its depths may awaken forces you never intended to confront. Are you ready to challenge the shadows and risk the consequences of awakening what should remain undisturbed? Nine. Tivoli High House, Historic Pensacola Village, Pensacola. In the heart of historic Pensacola Village stands the Tivoli High House, an unassuming structure whose creaking floors and shadowy corners whisper of a past steeped in sorrow. As darkness falls, the air thickens with an otherworldly tension and the scent of damp earth, leaving visitors with the unnerving feeling that they are not alone. This house, constructed in 1890 as a residence for the wealthy, is steeped in local lore and ghostly tales, drawing in thrill-seekers and skeptics alike. Locals warn of a spectral presence believed to haunt its rooms, a woman clad in a flowing white gown, said to be the spirit of Eloise, whose life ended tragically within these very walls. Known for her beauty, Eloise was rumored to have succumbed to heartbreak after the untimely death of her fiancé. Whispers of her ghost drifting through the corridors, weeping for love lost, spread like wildfire through the Pensacola community, intertwining with tales of shadowy figures captured on camera by the brave few who dared to document their experiences. An investigation into Eloise's life reveals grim truths: the anguish she felt during her fiancé's illness and passing, compounded by her isolation in the luxurious yet suffocating mansion. Reports of cold spots and ghostly whispers echo through the air as paranormal investigators insist they have captured disembodied voices pleading for help. Timeless tales of flickering candles and the inexplicable feeling of being watched heighten the tension, fueling the belief that under the surface of daily life, echoes of the past persist. However, the thrill is not for the faint-hearted. Those who choose to enter the Tivoli High House are warned. The spirits here do not take kindly to unwelcome guests, and the thin veil between our world and the next may not withstand even the slightest probing. As the light begins to fade, to wander through these haunted halls is to tap into a history fraught with longing, despair, and the unsettling reminder that some souls may never find their way home. Then, Laval House, historic Pensacola Village, Pensacola. In the heart of historic Pensacola Village, where the echoes of the past linger like a fog on a cold morning, lies the enigmatic Laval House, a monolith of history shrouded in whispers of sorrow and guilt. Locals say that as dusk descends, an oppressive stillness blankets the house, the kind that entraps even the bravest souls, urging them to turn back. Built in 1859 by a French immigrant, the Laval House is not just an architectural wonder. It is a keeper of tragedies that once unfolded within its walls. Rumors swirl about the tragic life of Mary Laval, the original owner's wife, who was said to have succumbed to despair following the untimely death of their only child, her spirit forever entwined with the life that was cruelly snatched away. Neighbors have reported seeing her spectral figure, draped in a white gown, wandering through the garden where she used to play with her child, her expression one of eternal longing and sorrow. Investigations by local ghost hunters have revealed chilling evidence: the soft sound of footsteps echoing in empty rooms, cold drafts cutting through the stillness, and disembodied voices that whisper the names of those lost to time. The house itself seems alive, with creaking floorboards and the unsettling feeling of being watched. In the parlor, where Mary spent countless hours in grief, visitors have noted an inexplicable sensation, as if the very air became thick with her unresolved despair. The specter of tragedy hangs heavily over the Laval House, inviting curiosity, but warning of the price of delving too deeply. Approach this hallowed ground with caution, for the shadows whisper secrets that may not be meant for the living. As you stand before the Laval House, remember, not every story is simply a tale. Some are echoes of the past, waiting for those brave or foolish enough to disturb them. The weight of lingering sorrow can be more than a mere figment. It can ensnare your spirit, leaving you forever entwined in the web of an unending lament. "11. Plaza Ferdinand VII, Pensacola. In the heart of Pensacola, Florida, at 11 Plaza Ferdinand VII, lies a seemingly innocent public square. Yet the very air around it whispers of spectral secrets and unspeakable pasts, heavy like the oppressive humidity that cloaks the region. Decorative fountains and historic cannons punctuate the landscape, marking this spot as a monument to the city's rich colonial history. Yet the stories that slink through the shadows reveal a darker narrative of unruly spirits and restless souls. Longtime locals exchange stories of soft whispers and the chill of an unexplained cold breeze, especially when the sun dips below the horizon, making the plaza a hotbed of supernatural rumors that evoke curiosity and a hearty dose of skepticism. Historically, this site has witnessed centuries of turmoil, serving as a battleground from the Spanish colonization era through the American Civil War. The spirits of soldiers, both Spanish and Confederate, reportedly tread softly on the cobbled paths, their tales woven into the fabric of the ground beneath one's feet. The most notorious of these legends is that of a grieving mother who lost her son during a skirmish, her wails of anguish forever echoing in the night air, morphing into a chilling lament that sends shivers down the spine of any passerby. Visitors have caught eerie glimpses of her spectral figure, draped in white, wandering among the palm trees, seemingly searching for her lost child. Yet, for those who cling tightly to skepticism, a disturbing reality remains. Eyewitness accounts capture disembodied voices carried by the wind, cold spots felt abruptly, and an overwhelming sense of dread that descends unexpectedly upon the square. The disquieting atmosphere unsettles the bravest, inviting the curious and the foolhardy to test the limits of their courage. For anyone who dares to visit, remember this: the souls of the past may not be as forgiving as the breezes that sweep through Plaza Ferdinand VII. And as the sun slips away, consider whether you're merely strolling through history or endangering yourself in a realm where the living and the dead entwine. "12. Pensacola Victorian Bed and Breakfast, Pensacola. It was a balmy evening in Pensacola, where the salt-laden air mingles with whispers of the past, and the haunting figure of the once vibrant Victorian bed and breakfast looms against the twilight sky, a ghostly watchman of unsolved mysteries. Locals have long held that beneath its charming facade lies a narrative tangled with shadows, tracing back to the late 1800s, when the house was the site of countless tales of joy and sorrow. Stories circulate about a previous proprietor, a lovelorn woman who is said to have lost her fiancé at sea. She never left the place, bound to its time-worn walls by her unfulfilled longing. Guests report strange occurrences, a chill that settles at the foot of the staircase, or the gentle strumming of an unseen hand on a music box that hasn't been touched in decades. In 2003, a renovation unveiled a hidden room where letters of heartbreak were found, revealing unanswered pleas and promises broken by fate. The spirits seem unwilling to release their hold on this beloved dwelling. Eyewitness accounts detail spectral sightings, an ethereal figure clad in period dress gliding through hallways, drawn to the light of flickering candles like a moth to flame. She roams the premises, her forlorn whispers merging with the ocean breeze, echoing a sorrow that resonates with guests and staff alike. Daring individuals who seek the thrill of the paranormal have reported feelings of unease, as if being watched by unseen eyes, and the distinct sensation of passing through an invisible barrier. For those adventurous souls contemplating a stay, beware. Here, the veil between the living and the departed is thin. Should you dare to enter the depths of this Victorian retreat, prepare yourself for the poignant tales of dread that linger perpetually, a reminder that some stories are far from over, and some spirits are very much alive in their grief. Saint John's Cemetery, Pensacola, Florida. The chill of twilight descends over street. John's Cemetery in Pensacola, Florida, where ancient oaks draped in Spanish moss whisper secrets of the past, and the air grows thick with an eerie stillness that feels almost palpable. This historic graveyard, established in the early 1800s, is often regarded as a resting place for the restless. Local legend weaves tales of spirits that refuse to depart, their anguished cries echoing amidst the headstones. Many visitors report an unsettling sensation, as if they're being watched, with some claiming to have seen shadowy figures flitting between graves, particularly near the burial site of local folklore figure, the mysterious ghost of the crying woman. This apparition is believed to be the spirit of a grieving mother who lost her child to illness, her sorrow forever bound to the earthly realm. As night falls, the cemetery transforms. The crumbling tombstones, which bear names of soldiers, revolutionaries, and the city's founders, seem to writhe with history. Some say that these souls, denied their peace, roam the grounds, each tombstone a testament to untold stories of tragedy and mourning. Explorers of the cemetery often recount harrowing experiences, cold spots that envelop them without warning, disembodied whispers pleading for recognition, and the sudden appearance of apparitions that vanish just as quickly. The paths worn by visitors testify to an ancient warning echoed through generations. Those who dare disturb the serenity of St. John's not only risk the ire of long-suffering spirits, but may find themselves caught in a haunting grasp that transcends time. If you choose to wander among the graves, be prepared, for the souls of St. John's Cemetery can be relentless, luring the unwary to share in their timeless sorrow. Enter with caution, or you might become just another story whispered beneath the moss-laden trees, a fragment of a tale that lingers in the chill, waiting for the next wandering soul, inviting the past to wake. Pensacola Little Theater, Pensacola. In the heart of downtown Pensacola, where the whispers of the past mingle with the rustle of palm fronds, stands the Pensacola Little Theater, an establishment steeped in artistic creation, yet cloaked in an unsettling aura. Originally built in 1936, this historic site has long been the stage for both celebrated performances and eerie occurrences that send a chill through the warm Gulf breeze. Local lore speaks of shadows that flit backstage after the curtain falls, and faint whispers of long-gone actors echoing through the empty seats, sparking curiosity and fear among both actors and patrons alike. Rumors abound that during the theater's construction, remnants of a darker history emerged. Workers reportedly discovered unmarked graves nearby, hinting that those who once walked the land may still linger in search of closure. Eyewitness accounts of strange sounds, voices pleading for recognition, and the spill of phantom footsteps echoing through the dimly lit hallways intensify the haunting allure of this location. One tragic story involves the spirit of a young actress whose life was abruptly cut short during a dress rehearsal in the 1950s. It is said she perished in a terrible accident when a backdrop fell, leaving her spirit entwined with the theater's fateful rhythm. Patrons and performers have claimed to feel her presence, as cold spots ripple through the audience, and have even caught glimpses of her ethereal form in the mirrors of the green room. But the theater doesn't simply house memories, it warns. Those who dare to tread its dim halls must be prepared for shadows that linger longer than the daylight allows, and voices that beckon from beyond the velvet curtains. Venture into the Pensacola Little Theater at your own risk, for the boundary between the living and the departed is a delicate thread easily severed, leaving you to question whether the applause you hear is from the audience or something far more sinister that lingers in the darkness. Old Christ Church, Pensacola. The air around Old Christ Church in Pensacola, Florida, is thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the whisper of the wind through the cypress trees that loom like watchful sentinels over the dilapidated structure. As the sun sets, casting elongated shadows upon the ancient bricks, the once vibrant congregation seems but a distant echo, leaving behind an unnerving stillness that draws in the curious and the skeptical alike. Built in 1832, Old Christ Church is not just a relic of the past, it is a mausoleum of whispers. Steeped in the ghostly tales of its long-gone parishioners, a place where the veil between the living and the dead is said to fray. Locals speak of disembodied footsteps that gravel the nave and soft sobs that resonate through the dimly lit aisles, often attributing these occurrences to the multitude of souls whose misfortunes linger, compressed like the air before a storm. The most harrowing tale is that of a grieving widow, claimed to roam the grounds, forever searching for her lost husband. A Confederate soldier whose body was never returned from the battlefield, a tragedy that encapsulates a community still shackled to its war-torn memories. Reports from those brave enough to explore the church at night describe inexplicable cold spots, flickering lights, and the sensation of unseen eyes boring into their very souls, as if the church refuses to let go of its sorrowful past. Beware. Dear reader, if you ever find yourself in the vicinity of Old Christ Church, for as twilight descends into darkness, the mournful wails of the widow echo through the trees and the shadows, and you may return home with an unshakable chill, a haunting reminder that some spirits refuse to rest until their grief has been acknowledged. Will you heed the tales etched in the very bricks of this church, or will you risk awakening something that should remain undisturbed? Thanks for joining us on this spooky tour of Pensacola's haunted hotspots. If you enjoyed our chilling countdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more eerie adventures. Up next, We'll explore the haunted legends of an abandoned theme park that's sure to send shivers down your spine. Stay tuned, and keep the lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.